keep it going. Huh? Oh, he's juicing up. Yo, he's juicing up. I didn't know he was a weeb though, like that. Okay. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
no
yeah.
wonder you're rich. They're coming bricks every day from Colombia to you. Interesting. Very interesting. What does Cheech say? I won't get into it. I've learned and grew. You are spiraling backwards and not learning for years. Find yourself and truth, Tyler. You know, it sounds more to me that you're explaining every other creator, right? And now I'm beginning to realize why I keep listening back to that conversation between Hassan, XQC, and myself, and why no one understood it, why everyone saw it one way. You're probably the basic viewer that watched. It makes a lot of fucking sense. I mean, if you look at the facts
kids,
behind
so
it, I wouldn't say I'm spiraling
their head
backwards.
from their ass, right?
I wouldn't say that I'm distant from truth. Why? Because look where I am. You could argue that everyone in the industry has had help from each other. They've all boosted each other's views. They've all only helped each other. They let each other get away with everything, literally everything and anything. They don't talk about it. They don't go over it. They don't bring it up. And then look at me, right? Anything and everything. They go in as hard as they can together as a team. Yet look where we are. Billion-dollar companies have tried making platforms to compete, and they haven't gotten to where I've gotten in, what, 4 months? How could that be possible? How could the narrative that all of the closed-minded people of, you know, Twitch, Reddit, and Twitter, how could they be right about me when all my actions prove to be the opposite? There is going to be a day that the very streamers you listen to that claim to be the light and the good of Twitch, they're gonna be on my platform. There will be a day. And when that day comes, hey, we'll agree to disagree, okay? Like I said, time will tell.
Probably right.
I understand that conversation...
Honestly, he's probably right, especially if Twitch just keeps getting greedier and greedier. Like, people will always follow one thing, and that's the money. You see it in every industry. Doesn't matter what. If it's better for, you know, a company or, like, in this case, a streamer, they're probably gonna take the deal, right? So that's just the reality. We follow the money. You know, and some of these takes that he's talking about that the Twitch streamers have, you know, and why they defend Twitch or like attack certain people and not, is because they're defending the bag, their own bag at the end of the day. So he's right. There's nothing else you can say about it.
May not have translated the way it should have to the masses, but I'm very happy with the way it went, and I believe, even though Destiny and some others disagree, that they think, you know, which they're not wrong, the mob mentality, they kind of look at it in the moment and they forget about it later, but I think I'm the anomaly. How many times have we gone through it as a community where I've said some shit, everyone said I was wrong, everyone said I was batshit and delusional, and the following year or 2 years, you saw comments from the haters, Train was actually right. How many times have you seen that? It's happened 4 years straight, has it not? And I'm telling you, it's about to be a 5th time straight, okay? Because the people I talked to, the way they high-roaded and virtue signaled in the calls and got around answering directly, they have to live nothing short of perfect for the rest of time for their online persona, right? So time will tell at the end of the day, right? Time will tell who is what they say they are and who is not. So I'm comfortable with it. I just have to, you know, I think that's what it is. Time will tell. Clean your camera lens. Quick question, are you still Jewish? Brother, when the did I say I'm Jewish? Where can I see how much you lose or you win on slots? Probably my stream, you can see that I lose 99% of the time.
What?
If I would have went into that call the way the others went into that call, if I would have been given, you know, apparently I didn't get the memo. There's a lot of things that could have been said, could have, would have, should have. Although I think the way I handled it was mature, calm, and collected. But listen, buddy, on my streams, the reality is shown. There is no deception. Do you understand? You will see losing just like anyone else would play. Do you understand me? But for the ones that don't show the reality, I don't see anyone talking shit to them. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll say it straight up. This won't be listened to either because it's me and I'm, that they'll say I'm not presenting it correctly, which when it comes to truth, that should be irrelevant. Truth is truth. But hey, it is what it is. We live in a wild time these days. I wouldn't be surprised if all of the poker guys, all of the sports betting guys on Twitch, wouldn't be surprised if they're not using what they get paid when they play on the site. Yet, do you see them saying anything? Do you see them saying or clarifying any of that? No. I wouldn't be surprised if they're all playing fill balance. They're literally the exact structure I'm against in the slots and blackjack world. I can almost guarantee you, just from what I know of the deals, that they're all doing exactly what I'm against. Yet none of their friends go even they don't even bring it up. They haven't even brought it up to a point to make them feel like they need to say anything. They probably convinced themselves that putting hashtag ad when they're doing a poker sponsorship is enough to let them know. But it's like, do you understand? Like, nothing's being made clear. No one's pressing anything because there's no clout from it. You understand? So the point of that is, and the point of that call was, I don't think any of these people are what they claim to be. I think they're only that because it makes them money. So if they're truly what they claim to be, and it wasn't just a whole clout grab, then there wouldn't be an inconsistent spread of application. There wouldn't be, oh, train, bad man, gamble man, right? There would be, okay, you know what? I have friends that do this, but I disagree with them, and I think I should equally go against that content and have that removed. You don't see that. So it is what it is. It's just, like I've said, people, I think I'm crazy when I say it's a corrupt industry.
No, he's right.
That's what I mean by
but like,
you'll never,
and it's like indirectly, right? Like, bite the hand that feeds you because their friends or whatever, I'm sure, give them exposure or, viewers, because if they talk highly about them on their streams, then when they end stream and they're like, oh, their friend's streaming, then they go check them out. And now they're like, let's say like Hassan and Valkyrie viewers, enjoyers, instead of just like one or the other, right? So yeah, of course they'll attack Train, especially if they figured out that majority of their viewers don't like Train. They'll do, a lot of people like being people pleasers, especially when you're in like the entertainment industry. You kind of, you have two options. You either yes man the shit out of people and just say what they want to hear, or you Adin Ross and just say whatever you feel and you don't give a fuck about the consequences. Yeah, but clearly, these people that he's talking about are choosing the first option, which is, protect their bag and, their friends. It's like, I'm not. I think he understands why they do that too, because like it's like you're not gonna shit talk your friends, right? But you have to also understand that he is right that like they attack him because like they're like, well, we don't give a fuck about Train. Let him be the fall guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't give a shit about him. He's not inner circle, core group with these people. So, easier to shut him out and put blame on him and put hate on him for it. And then let everyone else just kind of coast and chill and go unhindered. So yeah, he's right. But yeah, it's kind of like the media. They push a certain agenda, and then a lot of people believe it because when multiple media outlets are pushing the same agenda, then it's like, dude, think about like when you're in school, in middle school, high school, whatever, and it's like the teacher didn't see what the fuck happened, but like 9 out of the 10 homies said like, yo, you did this shit, and even though it was that like the other motherfucker that the other 8 dudes are friends with, like, he gets away with it because the majority said it was you. So you get fucked, and then he gets to chill on the sidelines laughing at your dumb ass because, like, majority rules. And the teacher didn't see anything, so he has to take the majority rules word, right? Like, so that's probably the similar with some of these viewers where they just tune in from time to time, whatever, where they only see, right, like, the outlandish, agenda that each of these streamers has. And, if it ends up being, Train being the focus of that, and then it's not fair, but that's just how it is. So then he just gets pushed out and, ends up being the fall guy, which, inevitably he was really, because even XOC did it, but, no one wanted to, like, no one, like XQC is like, the fence sitter, so he didn't like stand his ground on, his opinion necessarily. And, even though he was arguably even a more proprietor of the gambling on Twitch because he also had a sponsor from Stake, it was easier to make Train the fall guy because XQC is like more loved in the Twitch community or whatever, right? So if they went after XQC, it wouldn't look good for them, and it would only bring hate to their channels because it was. I mean, Brian Hassan was getting like nervous because like all his viewers like kind of went and turned on him, and XQC's viewers would go there and just like spam hate or whatever. So he realized that he can't win that battle, but so then why not just go after Train and let Train be the fall guy? So that's pretty much what happened. So it is what it is. Nothing you can do. I mean, honestly, this is the best thing that can happen for Train. This could all imagine this is some like 6-head, 7-head shit where like they all plan this together for him to get kicked off the platform secretly, right? Like some fucking Illuminati, fucking Mason, whatever the fuck shit confirmed or not confirmed, but and let's kick you off the platform. Like you talked to Eddie. Eddie said he was down to create this platform, and we'll create competition for Twitch, and then like we'll all just start leaving and coming over to your platform eventually. But at first, we'll keep the war going, keep the hype or whatever. Like imagine that was just some like fucking mega brain play. And this is like the Mitch Jones train wreck drama all over again, but like way more fucking profitable. That'd be insane, right? Like just think about that. That'd be some big fucking 10-head shit. I don't even know if there's a fucking emo for that, but
like gangsters running the thing and
Yeah.
politicians are being paid off to look the other way. Like that's not what I mean by corrupt. What I mean is the leaders of Twitch, they pick and choose based on what they get the most clout from of who to talk about and who to go against. That's an issue. Because if they were truly as good as they pretend to be for the money, their principles would be consistent with what they preach, which means it wouldn't matter if it's me or 6 other streamers. They would evenly go against all 7 streamers and say, yo, I can be friends with him and her, but that's equally as wrong. That's what I mean by corrupt. And if you think about it, that is exactly what it is. Fuck, I hate this rock candy that has string in the middle. Like, who the decided to do that? Like, just use a fucking stick. You know what I'm saying? Like, the rock candy that has stick that... The systems train, it's funny. When I watch that part of the conversation, it's wild to me that people can use a couple words to misrepresent what I'm saying, right? Like, it's crazy how that works. That system, listen, the systems things I made pretty clear, okay? Like, ignore the charity aspect of it, okay? Look at the act of willing to take a percentage of your wealth and giving it out, right? What I was saying was replace the giving it out part with, in the context of Hassan, right? You would replace the giving it out part and put it into something that you believe would help and prove what you preach. But people want to attach the systems part so much because they don't want to think, wait a second, that is true. Let's ignore the charity aspect of it. Let's ignore the systems part of it. Why isn't a percentage of the primary income stream being used to practice what you preach? No one's doing that because no one wants to see that or believe that, and that's fine. The difference is, I think,
and also, and to further prove Train's point, charitable donations equal tax deduction. So is he really giving any of his money away, or he's just doing these charity events, and in the reality is like he's getting a tax deductible from these events, and it's either give it to the government or to the charity. Of course you're going to give it to the charity. Like, come on.
Oh, it's one of those things, man. What the did they fill this tea half? Look at this shit, bro. My tea's half. This was a full fucking order. Given I could have made it myself, obviously, which I probably should have done, but I was running a little late. I left the tea bag in a little too long, a little too dark, a little too acidic, but still good nonetheless. Oh yeah. There's something about black tea delicious. Although I have a recommendation. Some good tea would be what's it called? I think it's called Iron Buddha. Iron Buddha Chinese tea. It's like this delicious, earthy, bitter tea. It's fantastic. Anyways, what did I leave off on? Oh, debate tactics. Thank you, brother. You were listening. I think the difference was who was coming in for what reasons. I think you can, like those of you that watch me, I mean, I would even argue those of you that hate me and that don't watch me could come to one like same result. What I'm saying is the ones that don't like me and the ones that do like me, that they could come to a middle ground and say, okay, you know what, we do watch Train. We do see he is well-spoken, at times, and he does get passionate and go in, right? But in this instance, I kind of stayed the course to what I said this conversation was, which was just a conversation between what was supposed to be friends, right? And I stayed calm, cool, and collective. When the f have you ever seen me do that? Think about it. Name one Scuff podcast where I remain calm, cool, and collected. Name one intro to my stream where I've stayed calm, cool, and collected. There isn't. So I think the difference is, and I knew this would happen too. I knew it. I don't know why. My biggest weakness, I would have to say, it comes back when people ask, what's your biggest weakness? I never know on the spot, but this is what it is. Here's my biggest weakness in life. And some would argue it's not a weakness. It's something good, but I disagree because it's me over in almost
Bro, he needs to clean that
category of life.
camera.
It's the thing or the phenomenon or
camera.
whatever the you want to call it, where I forget. I don't forget, like, we're not talking like the memory's gone. What I mean is, even though I know that people are, you know what I'm saying? Even though I understand the game that's being played and I understand, you know, it's been nonstop for 6 years of the same bullshit, hypocrisies, you know, contradictions, deceptions, I will get to a point when enough time has passed. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just jaded. You know what? Let me give them another chance, right? That's my biggest weakness, right? It's being naive in that respect. And that has always proven to f me up the most. Because if there was anything I picked up from that conversation, it was the fact that that wasn't to come and just talk it out and see what's good, right? Because even, like, it wasn't necessary for one of us to give in. We could have just agreed to disagree, kept it civil, and moved on. But instead, I could see what that conversation was. It was a performance. It was a show. That's all that was. It was how to keep the perceptions going. It wasn't about coming to any end game or end goal of truth. It wasn't about coming.
Well, yeah, obviously, because if he agrees with the truth or like ever sides with you even on one topic, then everyone is like, oh, he's slipping, and then like, oh shit, like Hassan doesn't practice what he preaches, and like if that happens, then Hassan loses a lot of his viewership. So he has to keep them under the shroud of illusion, you know, that he practices what he preaches, right? So
to terms through logic. It was about how can I maintain this perception I have going still. And it's like,
yeah,
in that
exactly.
moment,
There
I
you
think
go.
one of the comments that kind of stuck out to me was, oh, this isn't good content. Let's move on. What do you mean? It's like that moment, I'm like, okay, this is more of a show than it is actually a discourse, you know, to get somewhere.
It's also
So it is
true
what it is.
because he knows it's like what the people want to see. 3:30 a.m. by the way. It's what the people want to see, and you know, if it's like concurrent or relevant, then he, you know, wants to talk about it, or you know, be the streamer that has the most pog tent, you know, that day or whatever, and that would be one of them, right? So, all right, let's see this.
They pretend like they're, you know, doing everything for the good of the people with their virtue signaling extremist takes.
This is kind of
But
the
in
similar
reality, it's
from what he
all
said
just
the
like,
last
I
video.
really hate to say it. It sounds like a delusional conspiracy theory, but it's not. Okay, these motherfuckers, it's all about a control. The very thing they preach against is what they do. How they can maintain their power, stay in power, and eliminate everything and anything that threatens them, their platform, and any sort of inconsistency or anything that they can't control, they fear. You understand? That's all this is. Like, that's the realest shit you're gonna hear, okay? A lot of you are gonna brush that off as some conspiracy theory bullshit. You're gonna can attach it to that extremist matrix bullshit preached by the other side of crazy motherfuckers. But in reality, if you take both sides, both of their fear-mongering tactics, and you put it in the middle, you take out the fear-mongering, you take out the extremist bullshit, you take out the virtue signaling, you know what I'm saying? You take out the hate speech. In the middle, you'll have the truth. You understand? Both sides eliminate whatever they cannot control, or they try to, through the use of fear. And what I'm saying right now is gonna sound crazy, but in like 5 to 10 years, it'll be based. Believe me, okay? It'll be based. Just trust me on this. It's just how it is. That's just the fucking truth. Yesterday was unfortunate. Aiden's hate speech, yeah, that was really fucking stupid. That was really bad. Like, you know, I even texted
think I
him
saw
and
it.
gave him a lecture.
It's-
It's not only
If someone has a link to that, post it in the chat, and then I'll like look at that. Unless it's like really fucking bad and it's like mega TOS, then maybe not. But yeah, if someone has a link to that, let me know.
beyond hateful, it's trashy. No human of class should ever be like, it's just not okay, you know? Listen, a lot of you guys know that I have been an advocate for transgender rights, right? We have a lot of transgender individuals in our community.
Yeah,
and
sure.
even in my edgiest days, I still was an advocate for transgender rights, right? Even in my edgiest.
Yeah, because who the fuck cares what somebody else does to their body because it doesn't affect you, period. Like, who fucking cares? Who literally fucking cares?
But what I feel like is happening, and this is anecdotal, obviously, this is through my own experience. I don't want to accidentally gaslight anybody. But what I feel like is happening are the people are using, right? The people who are outraged and pushing for a permanent ban and a deplatforming are using the platform for transgender individuals, perverting it, manipulating it to push their own agendas. That's what's happened time and time and time again, not only for transgender individuals, but also for women's rights, also for Black Lives Matter. That's what they do. And if you want to understand what I mean by that, look at the gambling stuff that I did. Let's fucking revert back to that as an example. For years, these same people have been, causing a huge scene over the things that I do, right? Whether it's Gordon Ramsay, CSGO, right? Among Us, competitive. Gambling, when I started, which to be fair is a justified thing to be angry about, it gave them a free pass to hide their jealousies, insecurities, and hatred behind. So now, instead of making it obvious and going for something stupid, they have an actual cause they can get behind and claim it's for that. But as we see from their silence, when it comes to Neymar, when it comes to gambling on the site as is, when it comes to Amazon sports betting deals and slots ads that run in pre-rolls across all the large creators channels that have signed contracts with a huge conglomerate, we see silence. So what should that show anybody with even one brain cell? That certain movements that in my opinion are good and are a net positive for today's world are being used by a bunch of virtue signaling loser streamers to push people out that threaten their own platforms or cause a instability in what they see as a definite future based on where they're at now, right? So it gets a little tricky. I don't think it's black and white here. I could ban Adin Ross, but then what happens? It pushes him further down the rabbit hole. Now, with whatever little logic he was using, which
Probably
clearly
true.
from his statements, it's little to none. Now, just out of spite, anger, and being pushed out.
Also, I'm just looking at it from a business standpoint. If you ban him like permanently or whatever, that's like I don't know. Let's say he got like 60 mil because he didn't get the 150 mil for 2 years. Let's say he got 60 mil for 2 years. That's literally 60 mil down the fucking drain skis. So you wanna try to save the asset or get the most out of it as you can. But if he does go too far down the rabbit hole, that's when you got to cut ties. But it's tough because he does have a large audience, and apparently he said that the two genders thing because he was getting hate from a certain community using certain pronouns. I mean, that's like the brief thing that I saw on somebody else's stream the other day. I haven't seen like full clips of him, with whatever, but and I don't know the full story of it, but yeah, I mean, people saying do dumb shit when they're using drugs, alcohol, any of that shit too. So if he was sipping lean like he says he was and all this crap, I mean, he probably wasn't thinking clearly. Um, and also second chances. I mean, America's the land of second chances. So I mean, I think everybody gets a second chance, but in terms of chances, I think like 3 strikes you're out pretty much. So if he gets a little more crazy, especially with like hate speech or some shit, you just kind of you got to let him go and you got to just like take the L on the fucking investment cuz like that's not somebody like even if he goes further down the rabbit hole, he doesn't have a platform to stream to, right? Cuz now he's banned from Twitch, he's banned from Kick, like where's he going to go? You know what I mean? So like you don't want somebody on a platform with that much viewership and like power over his followers to like have a platform and have that power if they're going to say crazy shit or like abuse that power, right? So yeah, I get why they're trying to save Aiden and but they should also understand that when push comes to shove, you got to let him go if he keeps fucking diving off the deep end and doesn't like apologize and have like a redemption arc, and like now. Yeah. But
What
I mean,
happened to
it's not my business. It's not my place to determine that or moderate Kick. So, however they decide to handle it, um, is however they decide to handle it. But that has nothing to do with me. I wasn't involved in it. So yeah.
You spiral down, right? And you go even more extremist, and you go even more hate, and you go even more ignorant viewpoints, right? And it's one of the things I wish these extremists, these just absolute virtue signaling, do good for all, even though none of their actions say anything like that. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. They push for rehabilitation over a cancellation or over jailing for the rest of your life. Yet when it comes to social media, when it comes to people that threaten their own platforms, suddenly that entire do good and virtue signaling bullshit is gone. There's no rehabilitation. There's no teaching. There's no reaching out and trying to teach over time instead of just pushing out, canceling, and just forever putting them into a hole. It's fucking weird. And I hope one day people see that these streamers, they're all looks, they're all talk, that's it. None of their actions match any of the idealistic shit they preach. Do you understand? And I will stand by that. I don't give a and in time, that truth will come out. That truth will come to the surface. People will start seeing that. I came from a time where it was actions over words, you understand? And if it was the opposite, you were considered disingenuous and a fake mother, right? So that's just kind of how it is, you know? So right now, I'm hoping he goes live today, addresses it, apologizes. If not, if that's not enough, then we push, you know, another level. But at the end of the day, I think alienating and canceling is the wrong move for situations like this, right? Obviously, there's certain heinous levels of shit, and you could argue this is heinous, but what I mean by heinous levels of shit, I'm not talking about, like in this situation, I'd like to believe Adin Ross isn't a hateful person, right? That's what I'd like to believe. I just think he said something that was hateful, and that's one thing that I feel like no one ever distinguishes, right? No one ever talks about because it doesn't sell. There's a difference from being a hateful person and saying hateful shit. Do you understand? And I think it's a mistake to alienate and cancel people who say it but aren't truly about it. I think the people who say it but aren't about it can still be, you know, brought over to a middle ground, can still be taught, rehabilitated, right? So at the end of the day, that's kind of where we're at.
Second chance.
The problem is hate speech. It's not speech that you hate. What? You should be on thin ice though. Of course, he was on thin ice 6 weeks ago. He needs to really, like, trust me, like, oh man, it's just wild. Like, I can't even, that's just, it's just such a, like, what angers me, and I relayed this to him too, like, what angers me is, I wish the situation was black and white. I wish it was. I wish I knew that he was just this hateful person and it'd be an easy decision, right? But what angers me the most is, I don't genuinely believe he feels this way deep down as, like,
and then this honestly might be the case. He might be doing some Andrew Tate BS where he just does it for like clout and fucking you know, gravitational pull of viewers to his channel. Because, you know, at the end of the day, kids are fucking cringe. So they like cringe content, and like that is right up that alley of fucking mega cringe.
Adin Ross outside of streaming. I feel like he's doing it for shock factor content, just like Andrew Tate does,
Definitely.
right? That shock factor content. Andrew Tate might be a bad example since maybe he does do some things. I'm not sure. I have to look more into that and research that before using that as an example. But you know what I mean? I'm referring to the shock factor content where you just say some wild shit to get a reaction that's just crazy. Like, that's what angers me the most. Like, it angers me that, like, it's just like, it's so stupid. It's just such a, like, it's just so dumb. It's so dumb. Like, what a stupid thing to say. They did him Matrix like they did you. What are you talking about? He says stuff like that the entire stream. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to, I've already pushed to the other owners to have a talk with this guy, because it's just like, it's just embarrassing, man. It's really, really embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. And like, he's digging himself into a hole that he just can't understand. It's so embarrassing. No disrespect to you, Train, but that guy's a fucking idiot. I mean, there's no disrespect to me. I'll say to he's a fucking idiot. I want Kick to thrive and be optional. At the moment, it's very embarrassing to be the face of Kick. Yeah, he's not the face of Kick. I don't know why people like suddenly bring that up as if he's the face of Kick. Like, they don't apply those same rules to Twitch. There's like 5 or 6 massive streamers that are bigger than the face of Kick. I mean, right? We can all say who the face of Kick is. He is. No, he's not. You just attribute that based on your own insecurities.
Isn't Train the face of Kick,
that
basically?
Translate into more viewers, boss. More likes must be right. Right? Like, what the look at Twitch. Do you apply the same thing to him? Do you? We all know who the face of Twitch is, right?
Pokemon.
She's all over the app. She's all over everywhere, right? She gets what, 10 to 15K viewers? There's not even 10. There's 70, 80 streamers that not only double or triple that view count, they quintuple it. They 10 times it. You guys automatically say, oh, they're the face of Twitch? Would you say the Spanish streamers are the face of Twitch? They pulled 3.7 million viewers during their events? No. So why are you guys attributing Adin Ross to be the face of Kick because he pulls 60K viewers? Like, it's just so weird to me. It's really fucking weird to me. It's so amazing how many chances Adin Ross gets. Everyone gets a lot of chances. That's how it should be. I think you guys are all brainwashed and conditioned by these fucking losers on the internet that preach rehabilitation on one hand, and then the other hand, when they bring it to the social media world, which let's be real, the crimes are way less damning than the crimes that are committed for the people they preach rehabilitation for. They literally preach rehabilitation for fucking serial killers, rapists, traffickers, traffickers, and all kinds of shit. They literally preach rehabilitation, right? And then someone says some really up shit, they say it, but they're not really about it, and suddenly no rehabilitation, full cancellation, full removal. If you don't do it, this, like, come on, Jesus Christ, some of y'all are wild. Rehabilitation comes after punishment.
That's
Stop
true.
being
That's wild. I have no
stupid.
idea.
Yeah, you're right, brother. You're right. I should give you guys the benefit of the doubt, like we've seen over the years, right? After you guys cancel everybody, you sit there and work for the rehabilitation, right? That makes sense. You're right. How could I have forgotten?
Pretty based. That's crazy if that's true too. That's really crazy. That's really crazy. I mean, yeah, especially because of how less severe, like sticks and stones may break my bones, right? But words will never harm me. So like somebody just saying words, that's what I'll end this on, is you really, and this is for everybody out there, you need to stop letting words like affect you personally. Like, and also when it's from somebody that you should not give a fuck about. Like, who the fuck is Adin Ross to you? Or who the fuck is somebody that says some dumb shit to you anyway? You know, and even if they are somebody to you and they say some dumb shit to you, then reevaluate that relationship and realize maybe they aren't who you thought they were to you. Yeah? But for the love of whatever the fuck you believe in, don't let people get under your skin. Because if they get under your skin, they win, you lose. So remember, they're only words. Just remember, they are literally only words. And that's that.